Ever wonder why gold is still the shiny superstar of the wealth world, while Bitcoin, well, mostly just makes headlines for Elon Musk tweets and hacker nightmares? Today we're diving into the sparkling, molten, and slightly dangerous process of turning raw ore into 99.99% pure gold bars and comparing it to the virtual bling of Bitcoin. Spoiler alert, one involves molten metal, massive machines, and chemical baths. The other sits in your crypto wallet silently judging you. Before that golden bar ever gleams in your hand, it has to survive a journey that would make Indiana Jones sweat. Mining gold isn't just picking shiny rocks out of the dirt. It's a full-scale industrial operation. Open pit or underground mines that can stretch for miles, colossal drills that shake the earth, and dump trucks the size of small houses hauling hundreds of tons of rock at a time. That rock doesn't look like treasure, it looks like gravel. But hidden inside are microscopic flecks of gold that have to be coaxed out through brute force and chemistry. Crushed rock is mixed with water and cyanide in giant vats, where the chemical bonds with gold, separating it from the junk. This process, called leaching, is dangerous, precise, and heavily regulated, because one mistake can turn a gold mine into an environmental disaster. Meanwhile, Bitcoin mining doesn't involve dust, noise, or the smell of diesel. No heavy machinery, no risk of falling into a cyanide pit. Just rows of computers humming in warehouses that feel more like data centers than mines. Here, the miners are not covered in dirt, they're buried in code. They compete to solve mathematical puzzles that secure the blockchain and release new Bitcoin. It's less hard hat and dynamite, more Red Bull and GPU fans. Once the gold is separated from its rocky prison, it heads to the mill for a makeover. A full spa day, industrial style. The slurry of gold-bearing liquid is passed through centrifuges that spin faster than an Olympic figure skater, pulling heavier particles of gold to the bottom. The liquid waste is drained away, and what's left is a muddy, metallic sludge. It doesn't look glamorous yet, but it's about to become 24-karat royalty. Next comes the smelting. Giant furnaces roar at nearly 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, melting the gold into glowing liquid. Workers wearing heat-resistant suits pour it into molds, sparks flying as molten metal meets air. It's loud, bright, and mesmerizing. Alchemy meets heavy industry. Bitcoin, by contrast, is minted entirely by math. There's no molten core, no chemical dance, just electricity and algorithms. Each time a miner verifies a block, new Bitcoin is created. The heat comes not from furnaces, but from the thousands of GPUs and ASICs pushing electrons to their limits. Instead of gold dust, they produce digital tokens that exist only on the blockchain, proof of work written in math, not metal. But gold's journey doesn't stop at melting. To achieve 99.99% purity, it enters the Wall-Will process, a high-voltage electrochemical treatment that's basically a spa day with a taser. An electric current passes through the molten metal, separating out microscopic impurities that even cyanide can't remove. Out the other side comes gold so pure, it practically glows. It's soft, heavy, and mesmerizing. Real wealth, refined by science and sweat. Bitcoin's version of refinement? Software updates and forks. No gloves, goggles, or explosions required. It's elegant in its own way, but you can't pour it into a mold or hold it up to the light. You can't melt it, stamp it, or engrave your initials on it. The only thing you can really polish is your password security. Once refined, each gold bar is cooled, cleaned, and inspected with military precision. Every single one gets a serial number, an assay certificate, and a stamp verifying its purity. It's weighed, photographed, and tracked like a newborn baby. Nothing is left to chance. Bitcoin promises transparency too, but verification happens on the blockchain, where everything is visible, yet nothing is tangible. You can see transactions move across the network, but you can't touch them. And while the blockchain is supposedly incorruptible, human error isn't. Forget your password, lose your hardware wallet, or fall for a phishing scam, and your digital fortune can vanish faster than a magician's coin. Then there's the sensory part. Gold isn't just valuable, it's beautiful. It glows with a warmth that humans have obsessed over for 6,000 years. It's been hammered into crowns, melted into coins, and traded across empires. It doesn't rust, corrode, or fade. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a string of encrypted data on a hard drive. You can't run your fingers over it, and it definitely doesn't sparkle in candlelight. But here's where they align: scarcity. Both gold and Bitcoin are rare by design. There's only so much gold in Earth's crust, and only 21 million Bitcoin can ever exist. That scarcity gives both assets their allure. Yet one of them has practical uses: conducting electricity, filling cavities, even coding spacecraft. The other mainly sits in digital wallets, waiting for markets to rise or crash. Security tells another story. Gold sits in vaults behind steel, concrete, and laser sensors. Bitcoin lives behind encryption keys. Both can be stolen, just in very different ways. Gold thieves need crowbars and courage. Bitcoin hackers just need Wi-Fi and patience. Energy consumption? Both guilty. Extracting gold consumes enormous energy. Fuel for machines, power for refineries, chemical production. But at least the end product can be held, traded, and crafted into art. Bitcoin's energy goes into solving math problems to maintain a network that exists entirely in cyberspace. Some estimates suggest Bitcoin uses more electricity per year than entire countries. Gold may burn through fuel, but Bitcoin burns through watts. And climate activists aren't thrilled with either. So, which is the better investment? That depends on what you value more: tradition or technology. Gold has centuries of trust behind it. Empires fell and currencies collapsed, but gold kept its shine. It's tangible, reliable, and universally recognized as wealth. Inflation? Gold laughs in carats. Bitcoin, meanwhile, is young, volatile, and unpredictable. It could skyrocket or crash before you refresh the page. It's thrilling, speculative, and tailor-made for people who'd rather gamble on code than rely on centuries of human history. In the end, gold is the glittery heavyweight champion, refined, tested, and unbreakable. Bitcoin is the digital upstart, flashy, disruptive, and full of potential, but still finding its footing. So which would you rather have in your safe or your wallet? The timeless sparkle of real metal, or a line of code worth whatever the market feels like today? Drop your pick in the comments. Hit that like button if you learned something wild, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes, mind-blowing stories that make you go, wait, seriously?